Hey guys! Wow, so this movie was amazing. Like, Incredibles 2, I really loved, but this might be one of my favorite Marvel animated movies yet. Like, it was amazing. It's probably the best. Okay, I won't go as far as say the best, but it's definitely it's a masterpiece of an animated movie. So the way it's animated, the way it's done, it's just on. Sorry, I got a notification from YouTube. I'll see what that was. Anyway, uh, but yeah, so to talk about this movie, I guess I'll go in order, just start from the beginning, go to end. So, uh, this movie starts with Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and pretty much it has Peter, uh, just talking about his whole origin from the Tobey Maguire movies. And I'd have to say that this movie is a sequel to the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire movies because everything he talked about happened in those three movies. So, uh, I mean, I can't see how it's not, you know? Just, like, he referenced, like, the Doc Ock throwing the car into the shop where he's having lunch with Mary Jane. That he made fun of the dance from the symbiote costume from Spider-Man 3. And it was just, and I love how like they transition it, like Peter Parker says, I'm the only Spider-Man in my universe, and that cuts to Miles Morales going to school in a different place. So like it's some kind of public school. I can't really remember. And at one point I really love that we got Gwen Stacy, who is Spider-Gwen, which I meant to put a comic out for. I actually have a comic. I meant to bring one out. I'll go get that in a minute. But anyway, yeah, like it's amazing. I loved it. I loved the whole movie. Uh, it's so good, and the way it's animated, like she looks like she's Spider-Gwen right out of the comics. Like it's amazing. Wants me to click on something. There we go. All right. Sorry. Want me to click on some. So, anyway, but yeah, so I mean, you kind of have Miles Morales who doesn't really want to go into the school, but he does, and you see him kind of struggling, you know, adapting to all these like classes and stuff. He tries to fail at one point. Teacher's like, you know, fuck you, I'm not letting you fail. So she doesn't fail him, and then he meets his uncle, who, spoilers, is the Prowler, who they kind of teased in Spider-Man: Homecoming. So with Donald Glover, but anyway, but yeah, so he goes to the subway station, got bit by the radioactive spider, and the artwork, like when Miles Morales does graffiti art, because I used to draw graffiti, and I gotta say I love graffiti art, and I love all the art in this. The colors are just so wonderful in this movie. And, you know, this movie's so good, and I'm surprised that Kingpin was the villain, honestly, because I didn't know. So, uh, another thing to note, too, is that Spider-Man had died. So, first off, the plot is like Kingpin, he fights Spider-Man, his wife is horrified by what she's seeing, and his wife and his son drive in a car. They die in a car crash, Fisk is trying to use a what's it called? Oh, I can't remember what's called. It's like it was some kind of machine to enter different dimensions. So, because he wanted to try and get his wife and son back. It's actually a pretty compelling story, I must say, especially for an animated kids movie. So, even though it doesn't feel like a kids movie because we keep killing people, so like they literally showed Peter Parker murdered by Kingpin. Like I was so surprised and I was so sad because Miles Morales goes home and when he's just laying in bed, like then you just hear on the news like Spider-Man has been pronounced dead. Peter Parker is dead at 26, going on to and this made me cry too because it's just like Peter Parker was pinned on the rubble. Fisk does the famous 2-arm hit there on his chest and kills him, and everyone's looking on their phones like, oh my god, so and what else to talk about with this? Well, of course, the Stan Lee cameo that made me cry even more because for all you people who or somehow don't know this, Stan Lee died. So, and I personally was really affected by when Stan Lee died. Like, I've heard about other celebrities dying, but I thought the guy was going to make it to 100 because that guy is a god. And he died at 95, and I was just so heartbroken because, like, to be honest, comics, movies, like, it's my religion. And to hear that one of my gods that created my religion died. Now, I know I'm holding Stan Lee up, like, holding him so highly, but I do. The guy created our mythology. And I was so sad, too, when, like, he said the line, I'm really going to miss him. And I said it, like, in a low voice in the theater, I'm going to miss you. Like, it's just so sad, man. And then there was the Mary Jane speech with Aunt May there. That was touching. I really liked that. Another thing, when Miles Morales, after he breaks the thumb drive thing that Spider-Man gave him, I can't remember what it's called, he goes to Peter Parker's grave. By the way, I didn't understand why Peter was blonde. So, but anyway, yeah, at like one point, he gets to the grave, and right behind him, another Peter Parker with not blonde hair gets there. Then there's kind of like this little fun chase with like these cops in the cemetery and stuff. It's kind of funny. And like it's just like, and I love the way they introduce each Spider character because they slam down a comic, like a literal Marvel comic called Spider-Man or Spider-Gwen. They explain their origins real fast, so you're caught up. But yeah, so it was just, I didn't really love this Peter Parker, honestly, because he was just such a loser, honestly. Like, I understood it. He couldn't get over his girlfriend, and I'm sorry for him. But, I'm used to the Peter Parker that would try and get over it, who would still save everyone no matter what, who'd still be heroic, But I can forgive it because it's kind of a kid's movie, Another thing to talk about is like, just because I'm gonna talk about Spider-Gwen last because I'm gonna save the best for last for all the Spider characters. I didn't really care for Peter Parker, the pig one. I thought he was funny. I just thought he may have been a little too wacky. Along with actually, I kind of like Black and White Spider-Man. I hope he gets I hope there's a spinoff with him because I want to see that. And then there was the anime Spider-Man, which is like or it's not really a Spider-Man. It's like, oh god, what was her name? She was like some anime girl with a robot. Who fucking died at the end? Not the little girl, but her robot. I was so fucking sad. Like, who kills off that robot? It was so cute. It was her companion. You know? Ugh. This movie took an emotional toll on me. I'm sorry. I just saw this fucking thing, came home and decided to do this review. Anyway, yeah, another thing I really liked was. Oh, sorry, I was going through Spider characters. Sorry, I've lost my place there for a minute. Yeah, I guess I'm through all of them. I might as well talk about Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen is by far one of my favorite Spider-Verse characters. You know, on my Twitter, I always usually say like, Sony, when the fuck are you gonna give us like our live action Spider-Gwen movie? Because it's so easy to do. Even if Marvel has like Spider-Man right now for live action, they could totally do a live action Spider-Gwen because that takes place in an alternate universe. You know? Unless they're doing an MCU, which I would love also, but I feel like they're not going to do that. So, another thing to go off on is I love and slash like it may have been a little too Batman-y, but it was Peter's spider cave, which was just a shack that Aunt May knew about. And I haven't read the comics in a while. I've only read like Ultimate Spider-Man so far. So I've also read a lot of the 70s, 80s, and 90s Spider-Man. So, but I don't think any of those had a spider cave. But yeah, the spider cave was interesting. I thought it was too Batman-y because it's an elevator that goes all the way underground and it's lining up each section. You literally like the spider car. It was pretty much the Batmobile. The Spidey cycle. It was pretty much the Robin cycle. And he literally had all his suits. I know Spider-Man has a bunch of suits, but I thought it may have been a little too much. Also, I noticed there was an iron Spidey suit, like the dark red and gold. In the comics, they did this for MCU, for Infinity War and Homecoming. Spider-Man gets the iron Spidey suit from Iron Man. So there has to be. I can't imagine Peter made that costume, like that suit, that iron Spidey suit. I have to imagine he. I mean, I guess he could have because they kind of made him like super intelligent in this to make like a super advanced thumb drive. Oh yeah, you know what? I kind of got off track. I meant to talk more about Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen, I really loved how they did hers because in the comics, Peter Parker had died. So, but I like how it's kind of weird because they kind of showed a murder, but they won't go as far as to say my Peter Parker on my Earth died. So she said I lost my friend instead. So, which is an okay metaphor. I just thought it was kind of weird that we've been having murder and death, and we couldn't say that her Peter Parker died. So, I guess another thing to talk about with this is there was a moment in this. I thought it was funny, but like I was confused. Everyone kept guessing right about the fucking alternate dimensions thing, and I don't really understand that. So, like I said, it's more of a kids like animated movie. So, I just sort of was passive toward it. I didn't really care. I loved the movie. So, definitely one of my favorite animated movies, and I totally recommend this to anyone who wants to watch it. trying to think of what else to talk about with it. Well, oh yeah. Next came like Scorpion. I don't remember who the guy was. The Frankenstein looking guy to me. He was voiced by Tobias from Black Lightning on CW. Who was he? He was I can't remember his name. And then they had like a Doc Ock, like a woman Doc Ock there who I couldn't really remember that one either. So I feel kind of bad I can't remember any of these names. But anyway, there was a moment where the Prowler, who is Miles Morales' uncle, was there, and he's about to kill his nephew that he doesn't know is his nephew, and Miles Morales pulls off the mask, and it's this sweet moment where the Prowler's like, oh God, it's my nephew. He takes off his mask, and he's not going to kill his own nephew, and Kingpin kills the Prowler. Miles runs off with his uncle into an alley, and yeah, and I felt really sad at that point too. There's a lot of sad moments in this movie. Let's see. What else happened? Well, another thing that happened in this movie was there was a moment where it was Peter. It was the Peter Parker I didn't like, where he talks to MJ at the dinner party. I thought that was a little funny, but I'm like, eh. So, but I thought it was nice. One thing I will say about this was I didn't really care for that Peter Parker because he just acted like such a loser, and I don't believe Peter Parker would really act like that. So even with the breakup with Mary Jane, I just don't buy it. And I know it's like it's an animated movie. This is for kids, but like or adults. So I just love animated movies and stuff. So and I love Spider-Man. It's like the perfect movie. So it doesn't make the movie bad. Like I said, this is the best animated movie of 2018 for me, right next to Incredibles 2. It's just I did not care for that Peter Parker. I wish he could have been more of the noble Peter Parker. Except I liked at the end he was willing to sacrifice himself for a lot. Although I felt like the sacrifice stuff was like, well, this is a guy who feels like he doesn't have anything to live for, so he's just going to kill himself. Pretty much, which that was kind of depressing. So, but like I did get it for the story. So, and I felt bad that Peter was feeling that way because I know exactly how that is. I've been through some relationship stuff too. You just gotta move past it. So, I say I guess like the final thing to really talk about, at least for me, is the after credit scene. No, actually, no. Hold on, there's a couple more things to talk about. Sorry. I'm a little tired. I literally went to this movie, came home, and it's like almost 12 o'clock, so, I don't know it's not. I'm a liar. It's like 11. I'm a liar. It's hard to see the time on my laptop with this mask. I'm not going to lie. But, I love Miles Morales' suit. I was waiting for that this whole movie. It doesn't really come till the final act, but it's kind of like it's kind of like Spider-Man: Homecoming, where even though it's the reversal of that, Spider-Man has his suit, but then he loses his suit, and he's got to use the homemade suit, and then he re-gets his new suit. So, one thing I just really loved his suit. I thought it was good. I love the design, the red and black, which are my two favorite colors, honestly, next to orange. So probably why I like the Black Ops Call of Duty series. No, I play for the zombies sometimes. The so yeah, I loved his suit. I thought it was amazing, actually, and I didn't know he could turn invisible. So I thought that was an interesting thing. Uh, I'm definitely expecting a sequel to this. Also, uh, I don't know. I feel like we should have gone the Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales relationship. So, and I guess one more thing to talk about, which is really just for me. And I'm sorry if I missed anything in this review. So, is I loved the after credits scene where it's this hologrammed woman and she said Miguel and showed a wristband and it shows the blue and red arm glove and I'm like, oh my fuck, Spider-Man 2099? Because I read the old comics, I'm a nerd. So, and then it showed that, and then he goes back in time into the super old Spider-Man show. It was a great scene. I loved it. Uh, yeah, that's about it. That's about all I got, guys. So, I mean, this was a fantastic movie. It it hits you emotionally where you want it to. It does not. Like, if anyone says this movie does not hold up, they're fucking liars, or they just hate animation. Because this movie was amazing, in my opinion. I think Sony could make a bunch of money off this. If that's all they do is animated movies of Miles Morales, I will take that. I want an animated Spider-Gwen next with that art style because I love that animation. Spider-Gwen looked exactly out of the comics. So I really love Spider-Gwen. If you couldn't tell. All right, guys. Well, this has been my Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse review. Thanks for watching, any of you live. If you have any comments about the movie or anything I may have missed, which I probably did miss, please leave a comment down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day, guys. Peace.